Good morning, you guys. I'm going to give you all the opportunity to start coming into the room. I see one person. Let me see. We'll start letting other people start getting. We'll start letting other people start getting the notes, which is the notifications, of course. Let me see. Okay, shout out to my moderators. I see Diane, ZK, Kimberly, Little Miss Muffin, Teresa, TB21, Shan, Letitia, Leo. Somebody says in the bushes and officer. Okay. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Waiting on some more people to start coming in, okay? Hold on, you guys. Y'all little butts move out the way. Little bad butts. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. I'm losing my phones. Y'all hit the like button for me. That's wonderful. Hold on, y'all. I'll find it. Whew. My other darn phone. I let it die. And I be having them and be just putting, when one die, I'll grab the other. Shit, I be forgetting where I put them, but it ain't too far away. Anyways, how are you all doing this morning? How are you all doing this morning? Okay, you guys, I wanted to talk about loyalty. Is the first law of preservation. Stay loyal to yourself first, right? And I was just talking to someone else about this. I was like, I wanted to do something inspirational, as we see, like, all of the craziness that's going on in this world. Like, It's craziness, um not just in the Memphis area, but everywhere, right? And it has a lot to do with people not being loyal, right, to themselves. Okay. I think people have become loyal to anything but themselves. They become loyal to money only. A lot of what we see is when people doing is crazy stuff, especially as it relates to like a lot of the younger generations that seeing out there crashing out. It is because of their loyalty to money, right? Because they think money and things make them happy. There's no self love, because when you love yourself, you don't do certain things. You don't put yourself in certain situations. I said that today later on I was going to talk about relationships. I said I was going to do that later, right? And I was thinking about that as we was talking about relationships on the vlog that we did yesterday. At the end of the um after No Love went off, we kind of went in the direction of relationships and loyalty and things of that nature. And it's a lot of men and women, even when they get into relationships, they don't have any loyalty to themselves. I think the issue now is that people they might have a lot of love on the inside of them, but the one person that they should be loving first, they don't. They want to give the love that they have, but they don't necessarily even have any love for themselves, right? And so it causes them to do things that sends them over the edge, that is not conducive to their livelihood. Um, and that's the reason why I want people to know loyalty is the first law of preservation, but you got to stay loyal to yourself first, right? You got to stay loyal to yourself. And there are so many people that is not loyal to themselves. And one thing that I've learned, right, especially like on this journey, like I have not been in a relationship for like a year, right? It's over a year now, right? I think I was talking about that. And and in the very beginning, I was like, dog, the journey is kind of lonely. But I had made a pact to myself. I was like, I don't want to get into anything else unless I know that it is going to lead to something, because I'm in my 40s now, unless I know it's going to lead to something more permanent like marriage. And this is my opportunity to just really just be by myself, so I can fix some things on myself. I can fix some things because I'm not perfect. A lot of insecurities from other relationships that I picked up along the way, because believe it or not, I ran off some good guys that could have been good perspectives. But in my journey in certain relationships, I didn't have any loyalty to myself, right? My loyalty lied with just trying to fix, or trying to, I guess, revive a situation. Oftentimes we do that, whether it's a man or a woman, trying to breathe life and resuscitate a situation that was dead, right? It was already dead, and we already know that dead things cannot come back to life. But oftentimes what we try to do is we try to resuscitate it and breathe life into those things, instead of taking um um accepting the journey and moving on and putting all of that love into ourselves, so that we can reconstruct, right, a lot of the baggage and stuff that we may have picked up along the way, so that we don't get into other situations and put all of that unnecessary garbage on other people, right? Because they don't deserve that. Okay. And so I started thinking about all of that, right? No loyalty to self. When you do, you don't go and you don't become codependent on narcotics and things of that nature. Right, the Black Barbie, faking it instead of leaving it alone. And that's what a lot of people do. They want to prove to people that, listen, hey, we good. I ain't going nowhere. We're good. And people are really bad about that, instead of picking up the pieces, okay, and just moving on, just moving right along, okay? Um so you're right about that. It hurts, especially when you have it, and it's just the emotions. My mother said to me the other day when I'm getting ready to put it up in a few minutes. My mother said to me the other day, I got to get my phone. That's the one I'm looking for, y'all. I done lost it. It's in this house because I got to put it on the charger. I'm gonna still be looking for it as I talk. When I was crying, and I do mean the last puppy that I sold, y'all. When I tell y'all I cried because he was like the brains of the pack. He was the smart one, or whatever. And I was like, I sold him because Ranger came out the teacup Yorkie. Of course, I only had one girl left, so I kept her. And so the other one, I loved them all though. I was like, I'm keeping him because he the lovey one. He's been so easy to train and all of that. And so it came down to the one that anyways, the other one I sold, he left pretty early on, so I wasn't so attached to him. My mama said, let me tell you something. You have this issue just like my mother. Okay, she was started talking about my grandma, her mom, with just letting go. Let it go. Let it go. She said it's not that you don't want to keep, that you don't want to sell it. It's just you have problems with letting things go. She said, I be wanting to tell you that all the time. When you get mad at people, you stay mad at them forever. So my mother's very forgiving. She said, you've always had a problem with letting anything go. Just anything. Let it go. Let that puppy go. And when they send me pictures of him, they got him so spoiled. The other ones too, and they just love on him. And I get the crying. Okay. I'm like, she's like, let that go. And I think that's the issue too. Like we have problems with just letting stuff go. Sometimes things might double back, but I wouldn't, I wouldn't sit around and wait for it. Sometimes, I remember a long time ago, um, when I was working for Memphis Police Department, I was really good friends. She was like my mentor with this. She was a sergeant at the time. Her name was Sharon. And I remember when I was going through something with my daughter's dad, I had just had a baby. I just had my second baby. And I remember her telling me, she was about 15 years older than me. We hung out, we had fun and stuff. And she said, Tam, I know you just had a baby and stuff. And, hey, because, hey, I know you just had a baby and stuff. She says, I know it's hurtful because I had found out that my daughter's dad had another baby on me. Okay. The baby was like, shoot, 2 weeks younger than my baby. Okay. The girls couldn't wait to tell me. And she says, sometimes God starts pulling things apart because she said, you kind of telling me about some things that he had told you that he had did because he was out in the street. And she said, but sometimes a lot of the stuff that he did, he gotta pay for, right? Even what he's done to you. But she said sometimes they have to go through things. And you're a good person, you're a good-hearted person. You ain't never did nothing to nobody. They gotta go through things, and God don't want you there with him to go through that stuff with him. And I always kept that with me. Sometimes God starts to pull you away from people, whether it's friendships or whatever, because because those people got a lot of karma on their lives, right? And they got to go through some things that God don't want us to go through with them. Okay. And so that's why I say loyalty is the first law of preservation, because we have loyalty to things. We have loyalty. We talk about all we ever hear people talk about is loyalty to other people. I'm loyal. I'm loyal. This person, I was loyal. And it's good to be loyal because to the right people, right? We end up being loyal to people that don't deserve it. But it's good to be loyal to the right people. But we don't ever talk about, you never hear people talk about being loyal to themselves. Because when you're loyal to yourself, when you love yourself first, it's a lot of stuff that we won't even go through because we will not accept it. Right? We won't accept it. So when you're loyal to yourself, it sets the tone on how other people are going to be to you, right? When people see that you're loyal to yourself and you got your standards set at a up high, or and in a certain on a certain level, it's a lot of things that they won't even approach you with, right? And I think that's where a lot of these young adults are missing as it relates to a whole lot of stuff, right? They're not loyal to themselves, they're loyal to money. They don't understand that if someone truly cares about you, they are not going to ask you, right? They're not going to ask you to go and commit hits for them, stuff like that. They're not going to do that because they already know that you have a loyalty to yourself, and it would be offensive for somebody to be calling you a hitter of another human being. You look at me as as your hitman when you already know the things that comes along with being a hitman or being a whore or something like that. You think I'm your hoe? You gonna call me your bitch? No, we can't rock like that, right? My loyalty is to myself, and I got my standards set at a certain level that I'm offended that you would even approach me like that. Even if I'm out in the street, I'm offended, right? Now I'm not your bitch. Now I'm offended that you would even ask me as your woman to participate in things of that nature when you already know what could happen, right? You want me to participate. I think about how some women talk about, well, hey, if my nigga won't, my nigga rock with me and he happy with me, hey, if it's something that you want to do, then do it. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but as for me, okay, hey, it's certain things that because of my loyalty to myself that I take offensive. I would be, you talking about threesomes when you know all the diseases and stuff that are out there, when you know I don't rock like that and we're supposed to be exclusive. No, I have my loyalty set on a certain level that I don't even believe a man that I would choose would even ask me anything like that, right? Because of the air that I carry on a certain level, right? Because of the loyalty to myself. He's not going to ask me to get some money, go ahead and trick off on dude or something like that. Cause dude, he got money or something like that. No man would ever that I would ever deal with would ever try to put me on a man because of my loyalty to myself, right? The loyalty to myself tells me, okay, that if anybody truly cared about me, they wouldn't even be trying to put me on nobody. They wouldn't even be trying to ask me to have threesomes or anything like that. They wouldn't be trying to do that. Okay. They wouldn't be trying to do that. So that's why I say loyalty is the first law of preservation. Before you start talking about you got all this loyalty to everybody else, have loyalty to yourself, right? Have loyalty to yourself, because once people see you have loyalty to yourself, they automatically know when they step into your situation. You don't have to preach about loyalty. When you have loyalty to yourself, okay, when people step into your situation, they already gonna know just by looking at you, just by your conversations with you, without you saying that, they're gonna automatically know and want to have loyalty to you. I step into this situation, I know that I got to produce loyalty, and I want to produce loyalty, and I can't be here unless I produce loyalty, because this person is loyal to themselves, right? And see, that's how it is. When you have it all over you, it is reciprocated. I think about, how people, they got it just confused when they talk about love. That's the reason why, folks say all the time, you just got this issue. It's not an issue, it's just a habit. I say it all the time. And somebody was saying one time with one of my subscribers, maybe you should find another word to use, because I think you got somebody, it was a subscriber I had, pretty attached, because you always be telling him you love him. And I'm like, but that's just a habit. I do. I like to tell, that's what I was taught. I like to tell people I love you. Okay, because I do love them with the love of God. I love you. I do. I tell people all the time, like if I have a conversation with them, for some reason, people like to pour into me. Like if I could just sit on a bench somewhere, because I'm pretty quiet, I'm very shy, and I'm very reserved. I'm gonna always walk into a room and I'm gonna sit in a corner. Okay, I'm gonna go sit in a corner and watch the room. And when they walk up, they'll come and find me and sit by me. And then the next thing you know, They're pouring out their whole life story. My mom is the same way. I'm like, wow. They go, you know that person. They're going to always find me though. And so before you know it, you get to listening. I don't try to go, yeah, you need to do this, this, and that. I guess because I listen. And when the conversation is over, I don't even know the person. I always hug them and go, you know what? Hey, I love you. Sometimes when you let people know that they are loved, they've never heard nobody tell them that you love them, that they are loved. I love you. I love to tell people that, because love to me is like an energy. It's like an energy to me. You tell people you love them, it might help it might change their whole day. But people are so disloyal to themselves, they don't even love themselves, right? If you love yourself, it kind of exudes, right? The love that you have for yourself kind of exudes, and it automatically, I feel like, activates other people, okay, to love you too. Because when they look at you, have you ever seen people and it's like they got light in their eyes, and they always bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they're smiling and stuff like that? You could just see love all over them. Their energy, the energy that they have, attracts you to them, right? Because I'm attracted to good people. um hey, I used to have this thing about, I was so disloyal to myself. I think because of the light that was on my life, I always felt like somehow I always attracted broken men. And not all of the men, right? Not all of them. I don't want to say all of them. They might have been good people, but they was just broken, right? They was just broken. I remember I dated this guy. He was so broken, it was ridiculous. And what I tried to do is make him. My mama said that the other day. You always trying to. You don't need a project, right? Don't attract no projects. It's not for you to be trying to fix nobody. And I think as women, and even as some men, especially when they have healing spirits, when you see that a person has a good heart, you immediately step in and you want to start trying to fix them. Okay. And this person had issues with trust. And my thing was, for some reason, because we ended up, we actually was gonna work together. And somehow we ended up, like, I guess falling in love with each other or something like that. We ended up being together, dating. And because I felt like our energy, was, we had a lot in common, and this and that. And that's another thing we mess off ourselves off. And we got a lot in common, man. It was just meant for us to work, because that's to work together, because that's how we actually got together, right? And sometimes we step over the line of stuff and we mess up, because he is very creative and we were supposed to work together, but we ended up in the bed together. And sometimes we mess ourselves up like that. Go, dog, we talk all the time. We got some of the same ideas and this and that, but he was broken, right? And so he was broken. So I felt like, dog, I ain't never really dealt with nobody that's got like some of the same ideas. I have all these wild out ideas. I'm very creative, and he was creative on that level, right? And so I was like, he don't trust women though. That was mistake number one. He had this real bad trust as it relates to women. So I immediately, even though he could see, I didn't have to tell him anything. He saw I was a good girl, because he would always say, I never dated no woman that had the innocence that you have. And that probably was it, because I used to catch him watching me, and then he kind of chuckle and say, you just got this innocence that women your age don't have. You still believe that people got love on the inside of them. And so with me, my mother was like, that was like warning number two. For him to say you believe people got love on the inside of you, should have told you that he was dead really on the inside. But I felt like if I gave all this love, that I could revive him. I was like, I know people got love on the inside of them, and he's gone through this. The industry messed him over. The women that he messed with were women throughout the industry. They was only with him when he was on top, and this and that. But I'm gonna give him all this love to help to reignite and revive that deadness on the inside of them, right? And if you ain't careful, right, he didn't know how to be loyal, right? As it relates to staying faithful. You'll mess around and let people, you'll start to, their carcass will start to stink on you, right? When you already have trust issues, or you already have, because we all have our own little insecurities. You'll mess around and you'll start to take on some of that spirit, and then you'll start to because in it, I believe in the transference of spirits, and then you'll mess around and you'll start to feel a certain way. You'll start to feel drained because you're trying to give all of this love, and a person who set up and said, you got the you got the you have the innocence, a childlike innocence, and he was feeding off of that. You got a childlike innocence because you still believe that people got love on the inside of them, right? When he had been through the industry and stuff, and he was basically dead on the inside, and we'll get caught, right, trying to put all of our good energy and our good vibrations off on a person that has already decided this is what it is, right? And you'll get drained because when your love exudes, because energy transfer is supposed to be reciprocated, and when it's not reciprocated, then you, that's how people get drained, right? And I think that's the issue now. People are loyal to the wrong people. People are putting out good energy and good love, and it's not being reciprocated, and they're being drained. When loyalty, when you're loyal to yourself and you love yourself first, right? You, people like that, hey, they might be attracted to you, but they already know not to step over the line because they know they can't reciprocate that. And the loyalty that you have to yourself is going to reject anything as it relates to them. And you draw people, you draw liking spirits, right? You draw those types of spirits. So I guess I still got that childlike innocence, because even with all love, like when I got on YouTube, I had never seen so many twisted people, right? I knew it was, and I worked for the police department. I've seen a lot. But when working for the police department, I saw people that you could tell that they were sick, right? I saw a lot, you could tell that they were sick, but you have functioning people that are in certain professions on here that is twisted and a whole nother level. They wake up trying to see, because they're so twisted and they're so dead in the inside, how they can cause, like, they get off on it, right? But you know, their time is almost up. Okay, their time is, their bell is about to ring. They just don't know it yet, right? But when you stay loyal to yourself, even you reject even that, right? That's why I started getting to the point, you know, some things I address, especially when I've seen it a couple times, to put it to rest. And other things, other times I go ahead and I start telling my moderators and stuff to write, just start blocking it. Okay. But loyalty is the first law of preservation. Be loyal to yourself. And being loyal to yourself is really loving yourself. And when you love yourself, that's what you attract. People that's going to love you. You know, you have people that have children, right? Who has more love than a damn child? That, you know, they're so resilient, regardless to how their mothers and their fathers could be on drugs and they might mistreat them. But when the folks come to pick those kids up, they want to be right with their mother. You know, when I've had cases, when people have hired me for cases, like for child custody cases, and there was proof of child neglect. I remember a case I had over in Arkansas, and the guy had me to watch a situation. I'm not saying what city in Arkansas, because he had gotten word that his ex-wife and her new boyfriend was swinging, right? They was swinging, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about swinging, and they was doing it in front of the children. Sure enough, we posted up out there and we started seeing all of the activities and stuff, right? That's going on in the house. Now, being an investigator, you can't go in nobody's house, you can't do anything illegal, but you know, we got them good cameras and stuff, okay, with them good lenses. So if a window or something is open, I'm telling y'all a little bit what I never told y'all before. Okay, them windows and stuff open, and we could see from where we posted up at. We can go ahead and snap up some stuff, right? And we was able to get some stuff where they just right out in the front room after they get to drinking and stuff, doing things with children and stuff, walking all through the house, right? And you know, when the father went to court to get full custody of the kids, even though, right, because kids have so much love, even though all of this stuff was going on in front of the kids and it was not conducive to them, when the judge gave those children to the father, all my heart, I remembered it from the time I left the courthouse for days after I got home, the wailing of those children because they didn't want to be taken away from their mother. It hey, I had a job to do, even though it was the best, but the wailing of those kids stuck with me. You know what I'm talking about? And the loyalty that children, the blind loyalty that children have because of their innocence to their parents, right? And I hear people talk about they want to give love all the time, and they got kids right there that they are neglecting because they want to give love to somebody else. Who's better to love on than your children? And even so, yourself. When you do a little QT time with yourself, when you go get your nails done and love on yourself, go sit and meditate and things of that nature and walk and exercise, that's loving on yourself, right? Some people neglect themselves because they want to chase folks around trying to give them loyalty and loving on them, when the first law of preservation is loving yourself, right? And so when you start to love yourself, you start to love on your kids and teach your kids love. My babies used to have this thing about, but I had to stop them a little bit. Okay, when they would see that my oldest daughter, because my baby girl is standoffish like I am. Somebody that I knew, and I would see him, I would go, hey, you know, I work with this person. My oldest daughter would just walk up to him and just give him a hug, right? Because I taught my babies about love. That's the reason why anybody's baby that they see me with or comes through, whether it's my friends or a relative or whatever, they're just loving on them because I taught them that they got that loving spirit to just love, right? So people need to start staying loyal to themselves first. People neglect themselves, and that's the most important person, yourself. I'm not saying being selfish, because see, when you hear some people say, well, I love myself, that's why I did this. Now, you's a selfish person. I'm not talking about that when they do things to show that they are selfish, right? They don't care about nobody else around them, right? So there's a fine line between being selfish and loving yourself. But people who love on themselves and say, no, I reject that. No, I reject that. No, you can't do me like that. No, I'm not going to accept that. That's bad behavior. I'm not going to accept that. People are so twisted now. They've kind of twisted that into making you think that's being selfish because you won't let people do you any kind of way. Right? Well, how come you didn't love me? You should have stayed there and loved me through me treating you bad. Okay, now you look about 15 years older, all while trying to prove your loyalty to somebody who didn't deserve it. You 40 years old, you look like you 60. You weren't down for me. People are twisted now. You weren't down for me. You didn't have my back. Every man go through their thing. You should have waited until I finished screwing all the women and worried and just stayed there. And then I maybe I would have been with you by the time his wing didn't work no more. Hell, your penis ain't working. You 60 years old. Now you want to marry me and you're shitting on yourself? No, you want me to change your damn shitty diaper? No, that ain't loyalty to yourself. You done screwed everybody else in your good years, and I done stayed there and worried. Now you want me to change your shitty diaper? That's not being loyal. That's being stupid. You ain't being loyal to yourself. Now you get ready to break your back trying to turn him over and wipe his stinking ass. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Okay, now you already looking like you 40, looking like you 60. And now you get ready to go and break yourself on down, breaking your back and stuff, turning him over to wipe his shitty ass with wipes and stuff. Okay. Well, I stayed and he mad me. The best thing you could do is put some insurance on the nigga. Okay. And hope he croak on out. That's the best thing you can do at that point. You done already let him took you on down. Okay? But start being loyal to yourself first. Okay? Start loving on yourself. And then once you start loving on yourself, watch and see how things start to change. Okay? Watch and see how things start to change when you start being loyal to yourself. Ain't nobody gonna even ask your child. They're not gonna even feel comfortable in asking your child to do a hit for them. Okay? And even to the younger people, ain't nobody gonna ask you to do no hit for them because they already know you loyal to yourself. Okay, I often think about, we was talking about this about straight dropping them, about how, they was paid to go do that to young Dolph, right? Now, some of them folks that wanted young Dolph gone, some of them had been in the street. Some of them had been in the street. How come they didn't go? How come they didn't go do it? Why would they have to pay somebody else to go do it? It was because of their loyalty to themselves. No, I can't go out there and do that because I already know what's gonna come along with that if I get caught trying to take him out. So I can't do that. I got too much to lose. So I got to get some little young nigga that ain't got no loyalty to himself, that don't love himself. Loyalty to him is money and hoping that he gets some fame, right? That's how they do it. Because my loyalty to myself is I got a company. I got to make it big. I'm a big shot. No, I can't get caught getting my hands dirty. Hey, but I go here and give a little nigga who don't have no loyalty to himself some money. And then when the retaliatory situations come, it'll be him and his family, or they'll come back and take him out. But hey, I'm clear because I got to protect me and my family. I got to stay out and be a provider. And if he start talking, then we'll go and take him out. Okay. Right. So even sickos, sometimes think they have some type of loyalty to themselves, right? But people need to start preserving themselves in the right way. Because when you start taking care, if you take care of yourself, right, I think good things start to flow. You start keeping bad energies and stuff away from you, right? You start keeping bad energies and stuff away from you when you don't allow anything in your space because of the love that you have for yourself. No negativity. I'm not saying when your friends have issues, yeah, you sit and you talk to them. Okay? Because you already know it's going to be reciprocated. You start speaking positive. You don't help them to dwell in their misery. You start speaking positivity in your life. Yeah, yeah, girl, I know he left you. Or yeah, man, I know she left you. But you the gift. Take this time to be loyal to yourself. Heal, be loyal to yourself, and then you come back on your A game, right? And keep that negative energy out of your space. Don't be talking to them. Don't let nobody talk to you about no revenge or anything like that. Start being loyal to yourself because I believe oftentimes when things fall apart, anything that is supposed to be will be, right? Anything that's supposed to be will be. And I think I understand it now, especially at my age. If it's supposed to be, it will be. If it falls off, that means it wasn't, either it was never supposed to be and the time is just up, right? Because some things we were never even supposed to be in, right? I think about it, but we pushed our way in. And when it's time for you to level up, especially if you believe in a higher power, God will cause things to just happen real bad to snatch us up out of it real quick. It'll break your heart real bad, but it has to happen so you can level up, right, to something else. I think about when I went through the police academy, and I was working for the police department, and the lady kept rejecting me, right? The lady kept rejecting me, and I applied for the police department 3 times, and I was already working there. I applied to be a police officer, and so I kept pushing because I had the investigators that was working in felony response with me saying, you know what, you just had that baby, girl, you young, you should, and they was like, well, why is she rejecting you? That's just low down for her to reject you. They was calling out there talking to her, why are you doing her like that? But she thought that she was doing something to me, but God had other plans for me, right? And I told y'all about when the director secretary came down there and I wrote the letter, hey, I kept pushing and I was able to kick that door in, but it was not for me. I think it finally happened because God knew the direction that I was going to go in. Okay. And anyways, so I went through the academy, and 4.5 weeks we had gotten our they came out, they had measured us, for our uniforms. I had gotten my assignment. I would have been working in the downtown precinct. I think they call it main station or something now. I was going to be assigned. I had been assigned to the downtown precinct, right? They had given us our assignments. And so we had to do our practicums. At that point, we was doing our runs. I had passed the gun range and all of that, because more women fell out of the academy at the range. And so I remember we was running. I had to get over that wall, and we could only miss 3 days. If you miss more than 3 days, because there's a certain amount of hours you have to have as a police officer. And I remember when I came down over that 6-foot wall, I came down wrong and I messed my hip up. And I knew I was taking pain pills and all of that, because I was like, they're going to take me off. If I go to the doctor, they're going to take me off. And I'll never forget, at that time, Mike Rollins, at that time, he was out at the academy. Okay. And so I remember he was paying such close attention to me. He said, hey, Mark Dog, he said, Tamara, what's wrong with you? Why are you hopping? And I said, I don't know what I said to him, but he was like, I don't like all that hopping. But he didn't say anything else, because I gave him an indirect answer, but one of the other instructors ended up seeing me, right? And so he took it to the director at the academy. He was like, she's hopping. And when you hop, you supposed to, so they won't get a lawsuit, automatically go to, they made me leave right at that point and go to the hospital. And they knew something was wrong, because I knew. I started crying immediately. And I was like, no, I was all right. It was like, no, you hopping. You're not okay. And so when I got out to the hospital, the doctor did the very thing that the emergency room doctor did, the very thing when they ran x-rays that I knew that they was going to do. And when she took x-rays and stuff, I had to take it back to the academy. You couldn't miss for 3 days. They had to keep me out for almost, like, she was like, you cannot do exercise. It was at the end, so we were constantly doing exercise. You can't do any of that. You can't, you're gonna have to miss, and she took me out for 2 weeks, and I was devastated. So I ended up having to leave the academy, right? And I was like, God, why did that happen? I was so close. I had 4.5 weeks left. I was so devastated. Like, all of my classmates, because I had already, worked as a traffic officer and stuff. Then we gone back through. They was calling me, it's okay, Tam. It's okay. You know, you'll be able to go back through, and we still gonna be out there together. We still gonna serve together. They was trying to uplift me. It was Martoya Lang, one of my friends. He just got promoted. He was in homicide, working a Young Dogs case. Now he's been promoted. He just was recently promoted to lieutenant. Now he's out on he worked up there for a little while longer to work on the case, and now he's out on the street. Jones, all of these people that I investigated bureaus now. Shout out to them. I'm proud of them. And they was trying to uplift me, and I was like, God, why did this happen? Like, I had gotten so close, and now I got to start all over again. Yeah, rest in heaven to Martoya Lane. And so they, the Vice and Narcotics, the OCU, people were out, lieutenants and stuff was out there looking at the class. And because I had worked in felony response, they had already known me. So one of the lieutenants was like, that worked in vice and narcotics, when you graduate, even though I was assigned to the downtown precinct, we're gonna TA you over there to vice and narcotic, because that's when new recruits get ready to graduate. OCU, which is organized crime, and vice and narcotic come and get scope out new recruits, because they need new faces to do drug busting, buy drugs and prostitution things and stuff like that. So I was gonna go over there, but anyways, Martoya Lang ended up going. Martoya had 3 kids, four at that time, 4 children, 4 little girls. Right? Obama had talked about her. So I had to leave the academy. Martoya Lang ended up going over there. And my friend right now says to this day, he said, what's so spooky to me? When they did the officers yearbook for y'all's class, they had your picture up under her name, had her name up under your picture. He said, that's real spooky to me, right? So my Lord Toya Lane goes to Vice and Narcotics, and they do an undercover drug bust. And when they bust into the house, the drug boys didn't know who. They thought it was some people some more folks trying to rob them, and they end up shooting. They end up shooting Lang in the shoulder, and even though she had on her vest, they shot her in. He shot her in the shoulder, and the bullet traveled and it killed her. Right. And so I think about how God snatched me up out of that, and rest in peace to Martoya. I was like, dog, I was supposed to be over there. Would that have been me? Right. So sometimes things happen when we think that it's bad, right? And he tell me to this day, man, that's so spooky. That's so spooky that they got your picture and her name up under your picture, right? But things happen. It was just God had more for me to do, right? I ended up getting into um TV stuff, and then I ended up getting into private investigations, and now I'm getting ready to get into some more stuff, right, as it relates to that. Hey, Lattimore, getting into some more stuff as it relates to that. But God allowed me to garner relationships with those people that a lot of them have been lifelong relationships. Because regardless of whether you mother suckers know it or not, me and Nick talked all of the time and still do, because we would traffic. We worked in Crime Stoppers together. Me, him, and Jones was just like that. Okay, and shout out to him. He's been promoted. I saw he was on Facebook the other day. He's pledging something. I said, look at Nick. I love it. Always been a go-getter, good guy. Okay, that's why when people were saying a lot of those investigators was trying to cover up for God, and I was like, nah, my auntie was up there. My auntie has been promoted. Shout out to her, my auntie Jackie. That's my one of my dad's younger sisters. Nick was promoted. I think Jones was in robbery. But I was like, no, I know some people in there that is not like that. That's why I stood on that. Right. The politics as it relates to Moro and all of them, that's something different. Right. But sometimes, there are things that God, that are not just we force stuff, and then God to turn around. He used the skills and stuff that I learned down through the years with being working with the police department and the relationships, right? Because it works out for me now. Because when I'm hired by investigators, or hired by lawyers and things, or certain, I'm trying to get certain stuff, I'm able to go right and get it right. Able to get the help. I know who to call to get the help that I need to get what I need for my clients. So God used it for that, but he snatched me up out of it because he had more for me to do, right? Because that could have very well been me. So that's why I say, when God starts to break things apart, or he snatch you up out of something, anything that's snatched, like you might snatch something off too quick, like a band-aid or something like that, you go, ouch, it hurts, because you pulling the hair. When you snatch that band-aid off, you're pulling it hurts because it pulls the hair that's on your skin off, right? So anytime you get snatched up out of something abruptly, like I did the academy, I didn't know I was going to hurt my hip. It injured my hip. It hurts, right? But hey, it's an urgency because it's to put you back on your path. And I remember my oldest daughter was in the second grade. I was so hurt. I was like, oh, the next class gonna start, and I'm gonna make sure I get my hip well so that I can go on back through the next class, and then I can catch up, and I'll be on out there on the street. And I remember my second grade my daughter's second grade teacher saying to me when I was talking to her about it, she was a spiritual woman. We had gone to the same church together. And she said, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but just listen to me. Why would you go back to something that God took you out of? She said, don't you know if you had 4.5 weeks left and you was gonna be on the street, if it was meant for you to be out there on the street, then you would be out there on the street. Don't go back to something God has pulled you out of. I think God has something better for you. And I couldn't see it at that point, but I ended up through my dad's connections, I ended up like getting a job with the sheriff's office, and I became very content because I was like, well, I'm making good money. I ain't, you know, hey, my hip can go on and heal up, and I started enjoying my job so much. I was like, well, I think I'll just go ahead and just stay on here. I like working with the chief, working for the chief, you know. Um, but hey, even when it was time, when that time was up, and I worked there for many years. And when my time was up there, because people would say, well, why don't you apply for a supervisor's position? And I would be like, nah, the chief works where the chief's office was. There was the door, and I would always say that I work right here in front of the door that's out. When I leave here, I'm going straight out of that door, and I'm not coming back. Okay. And that's what happened. My dad was very good friends with an elected official, and she asked me to resign my position at the sheriff's office and come and be her assistant. At the time, I didn't know it was a setup, right? I didn't know it was a setup for something bigger, because when I took the position, she started paying me like 70. I think like she started me off with 61,000. Then she took me up to 70 something thousand. And shoot, I mean, that was more money than I had ever made, right? And so then she was like, you know what, I want you to be over HR. And I was like, no, I cannot. I don't know nothing about HR. I thought you wanted me to be your personal assistant. She said, that is my personal assistant, working over handling my affairs in HR. And I felt devastated. I was like, dog, she tricked me out of my position. I could still be working with the chief. And my dad was like, how are you gonna cry and you making 70 some $1,000 a year learning? And she was like, oh, well, don't worry about that, because we're just gonna send you to training. You're gonna learn everything about HR, and you're gonna be doing payroll. You're gonna be handling everything, okay, as it relates to payroll and HR, right? And I was able to bless quite a few people through that position, and I didn't know that it was a setup to be able to handle affairs as it relates to my business. So everything has been a setup up until now, right? That's why when bad energies and stuff try to come in, like people on the internet, I had folks that lie on me and call the FBI and try and lie on me, and it all flipped, right? It all flipped, and y'all will know what I mean later on, okay, when all of this stuff is done. And that's because I'm protected, right? I'm protected when you know a lot of people, and people know your character and things of that nature, and they get to looking at their backgrounds and stuff like that, get to looking at your complaints and stuff like that. They already know what they know, right? So when when things are for you, right, it's all good, because every dog has a day. And I can sit here just as happy as I want to, even today, knowing that every dog has a day. See, at first, when I was saying every dog, everybody has a habit of saying every dog has a day, and there's no surety about it. But I can sit here this morning, and Dima knows with surety, knowing every dog sure got a day. All right. And it's for an appointed time, and it's real soon. Every dog got a day. Evil can never win. Evil can never win. that thing gonna flip every time. When my mother called me 2 weeks ago and said, you need to start, God woke me up and I started praying. See, you have to get people around you that really knows how to pray for real. When God woke her up and she said, has that person been messing with you? She said, God told me he get ready to elevate you. That demon gonna rise up again. Start praying. Sure enough, it has risen. But this time they did some federal stuff. Every dog got a day. And there's an appointed time for that get back. That pay. It ain't no get back, it's payback. Because you sure have to reap what you sow. Okay? So when I used to say it, I was just saying it because I knew God was going to do it. Now I can say it with surety because it's coming. It's there. And it's for an appointed day for all of them. Okay? For all of them. Because it's more than one. And that's why I say you get some people around you that's going to truly pray for you. Okay? That's going to truly pray for you. All right? Because I do believe in prayer. Okay? And I said that with my heart happy. I know that there is a God. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Them prayers sure do work. They sure do work. They sure do work. So let your character be loyal to yourself. Let your character speak for you, your good practices. Right? You're good, because people, one thing about people when they're miserable and they ain't got nothing to lose, they don't know how to stop. So when you hear people say, I don't know how to stop, I just don't give a damn, you already know that's a person that ain't got nothing to lose, and they'll take you back down to the sewer with them, which is what has happened. Okay. But anyways, you guys, yeah, be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to yourself. The first law of preservation is to stay loyal to yourself. Love on yourself, okay? Love on yourself. And then that's the type of energy that you create. When you love yourself, you set the standards as it relates to being at your life, in your life at a certain level, right? At a certain level. And then that's what you attract. Everything that you want is on the other side of fear. And I was, it's funny because when I was going to sleep last night, I ended up clicking on something on Instagram because I ain't gonna lie, I had been a little worried about BEO Kenny. I've been praying for BEO. And so I talked to somebody this morning. I was like, have you heard anything? And it's like, no, but I'm gonna get back with you later on to let you know something. I've been worried about BEO. And I've been praying for BEO because, I was telling D-Mon this morning, I said, hey, I didn't know anything about BEO Kenny. And I started paying attention to him because when he got that contract with, I think he's with, I don't know if he's with Gucci or Future. I don't know who he's with. He's with one of those record labels. And just how happy he was to be able to take his daughter to the toy store and let her put all those toys in the basket. And he was like, you threw bail? And she was like, he called a bail or something. She was like, no. And she was putting all those toys in the basket. And the idea that he was happy to be able to give that to his daughter, the time and stuff that you see him spending with his child and stuff. And I none of us are innocent, right? I'm not saying that he's innocent, but I don't believe BEO being on federal probation was out there doing anything. I don't know who he was around that might have been. I don't know the company that he kept, but I don't believe that he was. And I stand on that. I don't believe that he was, because when you're on federal probation, they always watch you. They do what they call spot check, right? And so when you're out there, they spot check. They send people to follow you, to watch you and stuff like that, to make sure that that you are in alignment. And I'm sure they probably told him that. So I don't believe that, but I believe it is because of the probabilities and the possibilities and what he was doing as it relates to his success. It made him a target, right? But I believe that God is going to liberate BEO. Okay, and he's gonna be able to be out with a little bail and continue on and continue on a straight walk. I even hope Stupid Duke does well, because I believe people wanted Stupid Duke out the way because they was just more so afraid of him. Okay, when people fear you, I think I said this a couple weeks ago. when the day Stupid Duke was taken out, when people fear you, it causes them to want to kill you. So when people go, well, I want to be feared. It's not a good thing to want to be feared, because when people fear you, they'll take you out by any means necessary, especially when they're weak. Okay. Um. Anyways, instead of handling that, saying, "Look, I'm gonna stay out of your way, you stay out of mine," and that's it, right? But when they have other agendas, and they fear, they want to do something. Oftentimes, folks want to do something to people around you, and if they fear you, okay, they'll go. But this nigga right here gonna be a problem. We don't want to knock him down, because that's gonna be a problem. We already know that's going to be a problem, so we got to walk that down another way. Okay. And sure enough, it's been like a domino effect, because I believe that the target, really, it was BEO, because of his success, little Kenny Money, and Jizzle. Okay. So, but we're gonna keep praying for them, okay? Because a lot of these folks, my issue is people want to get other people out the way, and they out there doing worse. Okay, they paying to have anybody successful knocked down. Okay, so they actually out there doing worse than the folks they telling on. That's the stuff that pissed me off. Okay, but anyway, y'all, be loyal to yourself, and if these little dudes start being loyal to themselves, if they have some type of self love, okay, then they ain't gonna even be able to find no darn hit man, right? Because your loyalty shouldn't be to money, because that's gonna send you straight to the grave or to the jail. Your loyalty should be to yourself. You should have enough confidence in yourself to know, hey, if I work this thing, that's why I like little No Love. I think No Love, y'all know No Love called into my show unexpectedly yesterday. I think No Love has a hustle about him. Okay. Whereas even though he has a brother that has a lot of success right now, I think No Love has the what's the word that I'm looking for? Um I think he has enough of the confidence and the talent to know that he can go and blaze his own trail. And I believe that's gonna happen if he keep positive, keep his mind right, stay positive, and all of that. He'll be able to blaze his own trail, right? And then, because maybe God has, if there's some things that he don't like about his brother, because some things he don't like about his brother, maybe God will fix that too, and then those two brothers can come back together and collaborate. That's why I said, go ahead and extend the olive branch to Honeycomb Brazy, because when Honeycomb Brazy get out, he gonna blaze. He was already blazing. Anytime you see a dude pick up the state of Alabama, we've heard about Birmingham, we've heard about some, especially like Birmingham or whatever, but you didn't hear people talk a lot about Mobile. And you heard people talking about Mobile and the whole state of Alabama. I felt like he picked up his state and he was carrying it on his shoulders with his success. If he got out in just that little bit of time and was doing that, that dude gonna get out. He's had the opportunity to sit in jail, write some harder raps, because he's been through some more stuff, and people gonna be able to relate to it. Um, no Love has talent. Extending an olive branch to people and doing it with the right heart could take you places you never thought that you would go. I think that would be a pretty good collaboration, right? Because they can laugh about the little shots and stuff that they was throwing at each other. And you notice God never allowed it to be like, you never heard him talking about, I'm gonna shoot you down, I'm gonna do this. It was like little lighthearted beef, right? That's because it was really never no beef. It was by way of No Love being loyal to his brother, right? So they always threw like little funny shots. Honeycomb Brazy could get on his vlog and laugh about it and eat his chicken and have everybody cracking up. And then No Love, who never responded in a bad way, could take them, and I never heard him make no shots, but kind of blow it off and kind of be kind of funny about it. Hey, I think they can make some money off of that, right? Because especially if you have the right heart. That's why I said extend the olive branch to that man. He helped your brother, so I don't believe he's a bad person. Okay, I believe all of that stuff. He says, I have no sympathy for them grown men out here in their 30s and 40s still hollering gang gang. They do it to themselves. snitching in their songs tell on themselves. You absolutely right. They shouldn't be doing it anyways. And it's a lot of, people say, well, why are they doing it? Well, they do it because um when folks say, well, they ain't gonna sell no records if they don't do it. Okay, well, we're the consumers. So we gotta change our taste buds, right? Taste buds. We got to say, I don't if you're talking about going and telling somebody's mama to take her clothes off, breaking up in the house, tell your mama and them to get naked, and I'm getting ready to pop up the whole house, and I got to take the kids out, because even the kids are, if the kids are, if you're a rat, your kids are mice, I got to take them out too. And you got some of these damn fools that can't even decipher that that's not reality. Okay, well, we can't buy that. We ain't gonna buy it. So what's gonna happen? The white record execs are gonna say, we gotta go back to the have a meeting. We gotta go back to the drawing board. They spitting out that stuff. Cause see, I remember back in the day where we loved listening to KRS-One Self-Destruction. You headed for self-destruction. They was talking about that. Though that was the jam. We love to see those videos. We would self-destruction. You headed for self-destruction. I mean, we was loving that in our era. It ain't nothing changed. People are still human, other than the drugs and stuff that they putting out in the atmosphere is making folks more barbaric. The meds that they putting these kids on, okay, and folks not having no foundation. That's it. If you change, if you reject a lot of what they're trying to program us with, change your taste bugs, okay, you start building a foundation, your kids won't even have an appetite for that gross stuff, that sexy red stuff that they putting out. Some of these men gonna have to deal with that perversion though that they got going on, because they like looking at them brown assholes and her showing her booty hole and stuff. That's disgusting, with shit and stuff in it. They're gonna have to deal with that pervertedness, okay. So Duke and BEO need to change. Yeah, they could change their music. Yeah. Um, Michelle Johnson says, I have to go back to hear from the beginning, called the live. G Family says they don't think about their daughter when they make a song about them bodies they put in the wall. Well, G Family, I don't know if they put no bodies in the wall, because you be hearing a lot of people say that folks be rapping about stuff, and they ain't put nobody in the wall. Hold on, y'all. I want to call. I wants to find my phone so I can have y'all to call in. I had that phone, but then I started pulling some more stuff out, and I can't find it. But I'm gonna find that phone. Hold on, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. It may not be meant for me to have nobody call in. That's the only thing I can see here. I lose my darn phones. Yeah, I found it. Guess where it was at? I started washing this morning, and I had put it in my washroom. I had to think about all this everywhere I went. I was like, and I know I was like, and I went to sleep with and I'm glad I didn't notice it till this morning, because y'all know I can't go to sleep with clothes in the clothes basket, right? Dirty clothes basket. It's something about it. I have a phobia about it. So when I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, it's some dirty clothes in the dirty clothes basket. I hurry up and started washing them. My grandma just taught me that never go to sleep with clothes dirty in a dirty clothes basket. And it could be three things. I'm gonna wash it. He says, T lady, how you feel about them picking on BEO? I didn't like the way they did BEO. It made me feel a certain way because he was constantly asking them, and you could tell that he was scared because this boy is on federal probation. He was like, "What's going on?" He didn't know what the hell was going on. You tell me why you stopped me. Was it a driving violation? That's the first thing they would have said when you was going 60 and a 50. Hold on, y'all. You was going 60 and a 50. Oh, let me let her know I'm gonna call her today. Because I sure was thinking about her today. Hello, I'm going to call you today. Okay. Yeah, I'm working on a cold case too. Um, anyways, I'm getting ready to put the number up and I need to call her to touch bases with her today. She said thank you. It's been so sweet. Um, I just put the number up. We're talking about loyalty is the first law of preservation. Stay loyal to yourself. But I don't like the way they did BEO. Okay, because they were supposed to tell BEO. Listen, hey, the some of the laws changed, but the practices never change. Listen, when we was doing our practicums out there, when they had us driving, because they teach you, we had our driving course. That's the reason why I back in everywhere. We speeding and all of that. Them police cars be juiced up too. They be juiced up. They go fast. Um, when you stop people and you pull them over, the first thing that you're supposed to do is identify why you pull them over. The man was constantly trying to ask him why he was pulled over, and he never identified why. You can't tell me why. Call your supervisor. First, give me your it's IBM number, and then you need to call your supervisor because I need to know why I'm being pulled over. Instead, he wanted to, I guess, subdue and put his handcuffs and stuff on him or whatever. But if it had been a traffic violation, that's the first thing he would have said to him. Instead, he says, "Get out the car." That's scary. Okay, get out the car. Why? Why am I getting out the car? What happened? Get out the car because I want you to get out the car. No, no, you don't do that to me just because you got a badge. You identify the violation. He couldn't say I pulled you over because your car smelled like weed because he can't smell weed from his car to his car driving. But what I think I heard him say was, he said, "Was it a call? Did somebody call in?" And I think he said yes. He said he smelled weed, but he didn't see it. He could smell it, and maybe that's because now you got spray that can make your car smell like weed. Some of these boys, we want their damn car to smell like weed. I don't know why anybody would ever get freshener that smells like weed. It could have been that shit. He can't arrest him based on no smell. Did he see in it weed? He could never win in court with that. Then he wanted to say, "Don't resist, don't resist." Okay, I'm glad the guy had the camera on because he could have easily put that down on a ticket, resisting. We saw that he didn't resist. He was trying to get an understanding. So he violated when he didn't identify why he pulled him over. Okay. But anyways, we kind of talked about quite a bit of stuff. The lines are open. The number is 615-854-7509. 615-854-7509. He says, I'm just glad BEO used his head instead. I'm glad he stayed calm too. Because with him being on federal papers, I mean, that ain't no violation to be on no damn federal papers. Hell, he wasn't violating. Um, the Black Barbie. I guess what's his name? I forget who I forgot. Cypress friend. I guess he said I took too long to put the number up. He might be. When I was looking it up, I didn't see it, but it might be showing up now. I haven't looked. They might have been holding him or something. But I mean, it seemed like to me it's been 48 hours. I don't think they can hold you any longer than 48 hours.
Of a black man in America. And my father, he was a product of that. He made a lot of decisions. He made a lot of choices, and the one that probably hurt and helped me at the same time was to stay away. But that's part of the reason why I say this is the year of the father, where all the fathers got to stand up for their sons and daughters.
They said that's the part of the awards that Usher didn't want you to see. What he's talking about. He's a father. All the fathers got to stand up for their sons. Okay, what they gonna hold him for? Saying that the officer smelled weed in the car, but somebody told him that officer stopped him. That officer stopped him for a reason. Somebody told them to stop him. Somebody probably called. See, BEO was on live. They did say it was a call in, so or somebody called his probation officer and lied on him, and the probation officer put the people on him. If finesse two times, so petty. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? I'm trying to see have there been any like updates on BEO's page. Hold on. Nope. But I tell you one thing, it seemed like it seemed like CEO 30 and them, they been happy. So Ashanti is having a girl. It says in New York they have the hip hop police and they be on some real BS. If you have a nice car and or jewelry on, they stop you and harass you. Didn't he just have a show prior to them pulling them over? He could have smelled like that because others smoking. The smell does linger. Yes, G, finally, like they did Kenny, and that's their excuse that someone calls or they smell weed. Mm. I don't know if they released him yet. I haven't looked because when I looked the other day, it wasn't showing up. Mhm. Look at my stomach growling. I'm doing grilled avocado caprese salad today. I already got my chicken breast out so I can throw it on the grill and cut it up. They're looking for a reason to, yeah, they're looking for a reason to send him back. You know that somebody had posted, who do you think took Big Jook out? Big E O them didn't take Jook out. They know damn well they didn't do that. Oh, yes, indeed, y'all. I'm gonna be so fine for my birthday. Listen, I've already ordered my outfit. That's all right. I'm gonna bust out with it on my birthday. Leo season is definitely coming. It's right around the corner. The lions are yarning. The lions are yarning. I was looking at my face and stuff going down. I naturally have a fat face anyways. That's just one of the traits of my mama's family and my dad's family. High cheekbones and stuff. Um, yeah, hit the like button. Um, He says, I wouldn't trust nobody in the music industry. Also, it's just when your birthday, T. My birthday is at the end of this month. Today is July 1st. My birthday is at the end of this month. BEO Kenny needs to move smarter. He should have got him a driver and some security. I wouldn't trust nobody in the music industry. Yep. So Back to what I was talking about when I was talking about loyalty. Be loyal to yourself. And when you set your standards at a certain level, right? When people enter into your space, they'll reciprocate that, right? And when you already have your standards set high, because see, some people set their standards high and they say they love themselves, but they don't know how to. Hey, Mr. Parker, they don't know how to be. They don't know how to respect other people, right? They kind of look down on other people. I think you should look down on certain behaviors, but never look down on other people. You know what I mean? Um, hey, I hear people say all the time, sometimes you have to meet people where they're at. I don't know. It's just some levels that you can't meet people on because it's just too low down, right? It's just too low down, and you cannot meet people on those levels. Not at all. You can't meet them on those types of levels. No, you can't. It's some levels I don't think people should bring themselves down to. Well, I'll say in my opinion. You know what I mean? Hey, folks out there doing any and everything. Let's just say, that a man is physically abusive to his wife. And well, you just have to, that's just the mentality. He saw his daddy do it to his mama. You just gotta love him through it and meet him on that level. No, I can't meet him on that level. I can't. I got to get the hell away from him. Right, just too low vibrational. So I don't know. I think as more people start to put information into the atmosphere, and as we all change, because hey, listen, I felt even like a change in myself. I think about, because I love the Bible, and I think about, I used to get so emotional when I think about this, but it's still one of my go-tos, okay, in the Bible when they tried, Joseph's brothers tried to throw him in the pit. And there have been a lot of people that have been thrown in the pit and have been left for dead, okay? People left them completely for dead, right? And when Joseph's brother, they killed him because of they tried to, because of his dreams and the visions that he told his brothers. He thought he could talk about that to his brothers. He was a dreamer. God allowed him to see things in dreams, right? And so they thought that they would throw him into the pit. They didn't think that they was going to receive the dream. They just didn't want to see their brother with it, not knowing that they was connected to their brother, that it would ultimately bless them. Some people got so much jealousy, they be wanting to take the person out that is connected to them because they feel like it's supposed to be me and you ain't even got the character, right? And so he said, so anyways, he was thrown into jail and all of that. And he ended up gaining favor, and they let him out of jail and made him, and the dream came to pass. What God had given, the visions that God had given him, made him leader over a nation, right? And when his brothers, there was a famine, his brothers thought he was dead, and they came to him not knowing it was him, asking, saying, there's a famine, can you help us? We know you're a ruler over here, blah blah blah. And he recognized his brothers. I love this story. And he told his brothers, is your mother and your father still alive? This had been years. They thought he was dead. They had left him for dead, threw him into the pit. And so he said, go get your mother and your father and bring them to me, not telling his brothers who he was. And when he saw his mom and his dad after so many years, they didn't even recognize him. And that's when he said that it's me, it's Joseph. And they started crying and they said, we thought you was dead. And the brother started apologizing to him. And this is my favorite. This is my go-to. And I want y'all to always remember this when y'all go through something. People try to leave you for dead. When people break your heart, when people lie on you, when twisted people just try to do all types of evil stuff. Joseph said, it had to happen, but it was good for me. It had to happen, but it was good for me. They threw him into the pit. God had given him the dream. He didn't know how it was going to happen. He didn't know that when they threw him in the pit and he survived and he ended up running away and he ended up working for Mr. Potiphar, that his wife was going to want to have relations with him. But because of his loyalty, when she jumped on him and tried to get him to have sex with her, He said, I can't do this out of my loyalty to my master. I can't do that. And then she lied on him and said he raped her. Potiphar believed his wife and threw him into jail, right? He started revealing visions. It was in that jail, right? It was in the furnace of affliction that God allowed him to meet somebody as he started to interpret his dreams for him. And they would come to pass because he was a dreamer, that he would gain favor with the king. And the king made him ruler just as God had told him it had to happen. He had to go through all of that hell, but it sure was good for him. So always remember that when people start attacking you and all of that, you don't know. People deal with all types of demons. They sick, right? As Demon said, every dog got their day. It's coming. When people call themselves play you, try to use you, all of that, and you go, well, I got a good heart. You don't stop having a good heart. That's just a lesson, right? That's a lesson. It's for you to learn. It had to happen, but it was good. All of that stuff had to happen. But hey, if you if you hold on, y'all. If you digest it the right way, it'll sure be good for you in the end. Don't let nobody destroy your good spirit. Oftentimes we do that. And I think that's one of the things, especially, when generational curses is in the atmosphere. I have issues with forgiveness. And it's because I'm so loyal. I go, dog, when people say, I heard No Love say yesterday, dog, you just gave up some game that people charge for. Well, you know what? I don't have to, certain things I don't have to charge for. God is so good to me. It's just good to give to people sometimes. And so when I give stuff freely that I know, God just gives it back to me. Somebody will call me, listen, we got a contract for you. Can you do this? Can you exclusively do this? Or I'm gonna tell you, look at what Benny said. I was like, I have been thinking about, just expanding my company to the security part, but I ain't want to deal with all of the liabilities and the lawsuits. And what did he say? He said, girl, do it. I can train you because it's limitless um contracts, right? So when you start giving people nuggets to give them a boost, I don't ever in my life have a fear of nobody surpassing me. First of all, I'm too old for that. Number two, I already know what's for me. I'm gonna get it. If sometimes it's meant for people to surpass you, and you can go, dog, that's a product of me. My seed show did help them. Not because you want them to do anything for you, but if you ever need them and they got the right type of heart, they gonna always remember that. I sure remember you. Yeah, I can do that connect for you. You did it with the right type of heart. You planted a seed. Okay. Everybody that you help not gonna stay beneath you, and you shouldn't want them to. Right? You shouldn't want them to. Start clapping and congratulating them. Because see, when you can celebrate with somebody else, that's what's gonna get you yours. See, that's the reason why I know I'm dealing on here. You deal with a lot of low level devils, right? I wasn't raised like that. I didn't grow up like that. Okay. So when I see people thinking they using you to try to get this, and that, hey, I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. I already know stuff. Like my sister D might be feeling like she needs to protect me all the time. She'll go, Tam, when she say stuff, I know she putting some stuff into the atmosphere because she has that protective spirit, right? Um, but hey, one thing I do know is like when you have a person, if I can help you, I will. If you have a person that's willingly willing, to throw you a nugget out there so that you can swim, you better cherish that. You need to get out of any thought out of your mind. Yeah, I'm gonna come up off this person. Yeah, I'm hustling because you already failed before you even damn started. That's the reason why a lot of these people don't get nowhere. They think they got something, they lose it, right? Or they don't go any further than they can go because their spirit and their thoughts are not right. You can't use a person that's blessed, right? You can't use them. What you need to do is appreciate them, okay? Um, Hold on. They said, um, People repeating history is not always good history. Certain things are unexceptional. You're absolutely right. It's effed up when you're on parole doing the right thing, and these officers know who is on parole or in streets doing what you do. As soon as the police stop you, that's already a violation. Police contact. Oh wow. Parker, yes, just tired. I've been working 12 hours every day in ER, but I'm good. It's great. The most important way to be loyal to yourself to honor your every feeling. Absolutely. Um, Latasha says, speak Tamara. Demon says, nothing wrong with helping those people, nothing wrong with helping those that help themselves, that's helping themselves. That's absolutely right. I understand everything you're saying. Legacy says the most important way to be loyal to yourself is to honor your every feeling. I agree. I agree. That's right. Help those that help themselves. I don't have a problem with giving people a hand up. But most people they just want to hand out. Yeah, I came up off of the bench. Oh, I can't stand no. I don't even know how these women deal with men that even talk. I came up off of that bench. Use a bitch. Don't no man want to come up off of no woman. Don't no man want to come up off of no woman. Okay, don't get me started. Mr. Parker says, I always gravitate to the health workers. I have the utmost respect for those doing good for others. Yeah, especially when they're doing it with a good heart. Um, that's what they be saying. I come up off of that bitch. That's what they say. Oh, disgusting. You a sissy. Don't no man come up. I came up off of a bitch. Meaning my bitch give me all her money and she buy my clothes and all of that. That's a damn sissy. And he got the nerve to think he a pimp. Use a bitch. Okay. Them ones have to be called it. I still the same. I still have a heart, just not with the wrong people. Right. The most important way to be loyal to yourself is to honor your every feeling. This goes for the good, the bad, and everything else in between. Y'all know that's how they said, I came up out of that bitch. Oof. Mm-mm. And these women be laying with them. A lot of this, women can help to cut a lot of this stuff out if they stop messing with these dudes that even talk like that. Nigga, you ain't getting no coochie talking like that. I bet you they change. Nigga, you gonna work. You go get your ass a damn job. If all the women did that, that nigga gonna get up off of his ass and his mama say, you got to get up out of here. You can't be no damn little girl up in here. But see, what I see is a lot of women are hard on their daughters and they want to treat their damn little boys like they sissies. He said, my stomach hurt. That's how they talk. Lord have mercy. Y'all know that's how they be saying it. I came up off of that bitch. Ooh. Stop giving these niggas coochie women that say stuff like that. He said, T Lady, you keep my laugh and love your South Memphis swag. That's what they be saying. Oh my God. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. I don't deal with no damn sissies. No. No. And ladies, we could save ourselves a lot of trouble if we accepted men, some of these men for how they truly are, right? If he say that he's a whore lover, he like whores, accept that. Stop thinking that your good nature could ever make him want anything that's decent. Okay. Um, he says people get really weird and jealous when they see others excelling, and that might pass them up. That's a blessing to help people get and to go higher. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Latasha says, when you know, when you know, you know. When you know, you know. I'm good at work, listening and laughing. Y'all know that's what they be saying. I came up out of that bitch. Ooh. Mm-mm.
Demon.
Hey, Demon.
Hey, girl. I had to call in, girl, talking about I came up. I mean, I'm going to tell you something, how women get caught a lot of times in these situations. And this is just my analysis. I'm thinking, you got the ill mama. Every woman out here want to think they got the best coolie out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the problem too. I can pull any dude I want because I got it like that. I've heard women say that. I got the ill. Nah, my coochie good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you wind up getting what you attract. So, you're going to get these bum dusty dudes, that, first of all, will roll you out in the bed, use you like that, use you for your money.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he start acting like he's no longer impressed by your so-called good kitty.
And all that nasty stuff you do in bed because it wears out. And all the nasty shit they do in bed.
Yeah. Then when you feel like he's slipping away from you and he's losing interest in you, then you start opening up your pocketbook. And that's what allows him to start saying, I came up off my bitch because she opening up her purse, trying to hold on to him now because the cootie is no longer impressing him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get, yeah.
I came up off of the bitch.
Yeah. And I think that's what causes a lot of these love triangles. You know what I'm saying? My stuff's so good, I could take him from his wife or his woman. But then, okay, so after you do that, now what? Because now you got to start putting money in his pocket and paying his car note and this, that, and the other to keep him from going back to his wife. So to me, it's all in desperation. They all destitute. And it's like, knock it off. Cut it out. Yeah, cut it out.
I'm telling you that one thing about a man, women have tried to change it, but they're gonna put their money where their heart is. They will if they really want a woman, they're gonna take care of that household. She ain't got it. They'll be out here having these other girls, they opening up their pocketbook, thinking they taking them away all the while he paying bills somewhere else.
Yeah, he's taking your money back home to his wife and his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I've often said, okay, so you cold-blooded enough to have you a married man in your life. I'm the kind of chick that if I'm a date a married man, and every time he buys his wife a fur coat, I want one too. Every time he takes her on the trip, I want a trip too. Every time he buy her a diamond, I want me a diamond too. But see, because what we're not gonna do is me sitting back already kicking people on the holidays. It's bad enough, I can't live under the same roof with you because you got a wife. So, you supposed to be getting something out the deal if we don't mess around with some other woman's husband, which I do not promote. I don't condone that. Go get your own husband.
That's right.
All of this sitting up here, and I think the bigger problem with a lot of people, too, Sam, is their ego. Everybody got a damn ego, and there's nothing wrong with being confident. Okay? But when your cockiness overrides everything, logic and everything else, like you say, love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you wouldn't put yourself in certain situations. And for me,
my way of thinking is if you truly love yourself, you make better decisions in your life. You know what I mean? And that
Mm-hmm.
goes as far as friends, your mates. You choose more wisely. You don't,
Mm-hmm.
get out here and have certain people in your life and the signs are there. A lot of times when you meet people, you can tell right off the bat whether they do it for you or not. I can meet somebody right off the bat and it don't take me long to figure out if they're full of shit or not. You know, and to me, if you love yourself enough, then a lot of times red flags are there, the signs are there. But you got a lot of people out here that just go for anything and anybody. Um, and it's because they're not in tune with themselves. And you're in tune with yourself, that you know what you want to stand for, what you want, you know. Yeah,
Right. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree
just
100%.
yeah, just out here, just accepting anything, and it's simply because you're not in touch with yourself. You know, um, you don't love yourself enough to even separate love from love. You know,
Yeah.
everything ain't love. A lot of it would be infatuation and lust.
And lust. Infatuation and lust. And when it's not, when I think when people are meant to be together, it's effortless. You don't have to pull rabbits out of your hat. Your energy, you just automatically. It's not the sex. It's not because of the money. I think it's automatic. Like that comes even later on, right? You just know it's not because of what a person is doing in bed, or that's how a lot of people get tricked, or the stuff that people are, oh, they she giving me her money, or she going buy me clothes, because see, that's gonna wear off when they think they got you. That gets old too. When you're meant to be together, it's something else that is involved. It's a different type of energy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. I guess about me being an older woman, I feel like, some kind of trick bag I'm being set up if I met a man and he just started love bombing me and buying me, Range Rovers and diamonds and furs. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being punked or something. What's going on here? I started side eyeing him because that to me, those are tools to use later on to control me or manipulate me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just certain things I just want to accept, you know.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to take me out to dinner, that's fine. I don't mind being wine and dine, you know what I mean? But don't start with all the big purchases and all of this love bombing, because that makes me feel like, there's something else in the milk that's going to start curling up and making my stomach sour. I
I
don't
agree.
want it. Yeah, I don't want it. No, you keep all that there. I'm good. So all of this coming up on folks thinking that you winning, you ain't winning. You are merely being put into a position to be used, or manipulated. That's all that is. Yeah. So on that note, I will say I love me, and
That's right.
I ain't going for the antidote.
That's right. He says, "Did you give the?" He said. He said. He said. He said, "Did you give the fur? Would you give the fur back?"
I'm not going to accept it. I don't have to give it back because I'm not going to accept
it. That's right. The Black Barber says, "I had a dude that would not buy me $1.95 chicken snack meal." She said he would not buy me $1.95 chicken snack meal, but would buy liquor for us. That woke me up, and to see that he was jealous of me too. Bafu, I know that's right. He wanted to keep you drunk.
Yeah, you want to keep her drunk because they say what they say. Uh, filled wine glass is equivalent to, open legs, right? So
That's right.
yeah,
He want to keep her drunk. If he keep her inebriated, if I'm saying that right, then she won't. He feel like she won't get to see what kind of real how he is. Like some people want to keep you incapacitated so that you won't realize, who they really are. You won't figure them out.
Yeah. You be too drunk to realize they a fucking clown.
That's right.
You so rough and turn over and look at that nigga, you be like, oh no, I'm laying next to homie the clown. What have I done?
I know that's right.
Yeah, stay woke. I know people use that term loosely, but really at the end of the day, stay woke, man. Stop walking through life like a blind person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people act like they ain't got no damn common sense no more. No scruples. It's like, where's your sixth sense at? It's like what happened to people? And I was listening to you talking about, kids. Kids are so pure, kids are so innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And, we come into the world pure and innocent. I'm like, at what point or at what stage from a child into adulthood do you just turn into a straight dumb?
Mm-hmm.
Straight evil, straight, whatever. Everybody got their flaws, and I'm not saying nobody's perfect, but you got some straight clowns out here. It's like, at what point did you graduate from being, it's not even graduate, it's like a demotion. At what point in your life did you demote yourself from being pure and innocent and kind and sweet and compassionate to just not giving a damn?
That's true. He says, why should you, what he say, stop giving loyalty to people that can't even give you honesty. That's true. Every word come out of their mouth is a damn lie.
You got some folks out here, girl, they lie so much that they lie to themselves and believe their own lies and, get mad when other people don't believe their lies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their whole life is a lie. Their whole life is a facade. It's a sham. Child, it's a shame that your whole life is just straight up trash.
Mm-hmm.
Straight trash. Yeah.
You sure right, Mr. Parker. He said the age of the women who need this knowledge probably ain't in this chat. That's true.
Child, you can say that again. No, they ain't here. They over there at the Kim Wong's beauty supply get buying some purple wigs and shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's it. That's all, girl. I just wish that people would recognize the signs. Stop thinking you can fix every damn body. You know what I'm saying? Let's forget a lot of these young people in trouble. Not even young people, just people in general. Stop thinking you are a fixer. Ain't nobody a fixer but God.
Mm-hmm.
He works. He does his works here on earth through, I call them earth angels. We do have earth angels. But I'm a true believer that, God helped those that help themselves. Why in the hell would I take up with a man that has done nothing with my dating range, all 50-some years of his life?
Mm-hmm.
So what am I? Who in the hell am I? Captain Save a Trick? I'm supposed to, just move him in my house and pay his car notes and make sure he got a roof over his head and food to eat. Why would I do that?
That's right. That's not being loyal to yourself, having to take on the son. That's not. And no, and even and men have to admit, even with them supposedly being providers and protectors, they don't want a woman that's a bomb.
No, they don't. That's why they send them out here and set up girls so they can set up the boys and they can rob them on the dating app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hell, because if she comes to the table with nothing, he don't want her, so why should I want you? Stop having that much mercy. You can have mercy to a detriment.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes having a big heart, sometimes having mercy on people and being so kind, you can be too kind to a detriment.
I agree.
Yeah, you know, and you shortchange yourself, really. You really do. You shortchange yourself, uh, letting all these bum people in your life. And I'm not even just talking about a mate or dating. I'm talking about even female. You have to watch some of these so-called female friends out here. They'll put the knife in your back and pull it out and be smiling right in your face. You have to
Mm-hmm.
watch everybody.
Yes, you do.
You know, yeah.
It's sad. People, we're in an age
Hopefully,
now where people want what you got. They're not looking at their own plates or their own potential. They want what you got. And if they feel like
yeah,
they can't have it, they want to try to take it from you.
yeah. Or make it so where you lose yours. You see what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
anything that they can do to bad mouth you or put a bad stain on your name, on your brand or whatever, they're going to do that because they figure that's going to take you down. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like you say, a winner's mind, if you ain't got a winner's mind, taking somebody else down is not going to bring you up if you know how to get in the business for yourself.
I know that's right.
Yeah, you still ain't gonna be shit and have shit. You still ain't shit. You took me down and now what? You still ain't shit.
You still ain't shit. You
Yeah,
still ain't shit. But in
yeah,
jail, because a lot of stuff these folks
yeah.
doing, getting them sent straight to jail.
Well, that's what they like to be. That's what they need to be, right? Some people, that's like a retirement home, especially with some old food. They ain't did shit with their whole life, so they can't afford to stay out in the free world no way. So they go there for uh, what they call it, 3 square meals and a cot, a bed, room and board, really.
Mm.
Some people, that's where they want to be, but they can't make it out in the free world no damn way. For them, it's too hard. It's too much work.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd rather be somewhere where they can get free meals and free room and board.
Well, that's what they gonna be. That's sure what they gonna be. They can't even, a
Yeah.
lot of these folks can't even be trusted with jobs. They go and they got so much hate in their heart. They go and they're so disturbed. They go and violate federal laws because of their hate, because they think they're making somebody else's life miserable and lose everything they got.
But really, Tim, if you look at it, everything that they got still don't amount to a hill of beans.
It still don't even amount to nothing.
Yeah. So, because of that, they ain't got nothing to begin with. And if the job is all you got, then, Lord have mercy, right? So if you
Yeah,
ain't
that's
got nothing
sad.
past your job, yeah, you still ain't got nothing. Because the goal of working is to be able to acquire things. You got a lot of folks out here that work every day and they ain't got nothing to their damn name.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
That's why they're so miserable.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, when people learn to stay in their lane, and that's another problem. People don't know how to stay in their lane. The whole uh, goal and the object of the game for them is to, as you say, come up off somebody, be it scamming them, be it humiliating them. Everything that they do is like a method to the madness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that might be. It's always a method to the madness for them. In their twisted mind, they are accomplishing their goal. You know, like I said, be it humiliating you, taking you down, or pouring dirt on your name, or so people like that will never succeed. They'll never be successful at nothing.
Nothing. They already at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. You know, yeah. They just dug holes so deep that uh, their life is on a day-to-day basis, uh, like the book of Revelations, right?
Mm-hmm.
just straight disaster. Just
Straight
disaster.
disaster.
Yeah. And I have to, like I told you earlier, some people are not living; they are existing. They are merely zombies in this world. We
Yes,
have
they
living
are.
zombies in the world where they are just merely existing. To me, living life is being at peace, having contentment, being happy. Doing the things that bring you joy. And if trolling folks all day and getting high all day and out here just being a damn fool brings you happiness, that tells me that you already dead. You dead inside.
You
You
already
already
dead.
dead.
They already
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. You already dead. You damn corpse. That's all these damn fools are, a bunch of damn breathing corpses. Damn corpse. All right, Mom, I'm gonna hop off. I just had to come up because you come out, somebody came up off their bitch. I just had to put my 2 cents in on that.
All right, I appreciate you calling in.
All right, babe.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. I'm getting ready to get off. I might get on a little later. I need to put my chicken breast on the grill and eat. Shout out to Tamara. I love you too, Latasha. And then I got to get out for a little while, and then I guess somebody said, "No, you ain't getting off." Hey, Mr. Parker, turn your computer or TV down.
Hey, Mr. Parker, turn your computer or TV down.
We got an echo.
What I said, you ain't getting off.
What's up, Mr. Parker? So what you got to say about this topic?
So listen, here's the thing. As a man, right? As what society would deem an alpha man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I probably do come across at times harder on the women, but it's because I was raised by one. Like my daddy was in my life, but my daddy had after college and pro football, my daddy had drug issues, so it wasn't. He wasn't there to his full extent, his full potential. I was raised by my mama, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have an idea of how women should carry themselves. But at 51 years old, I've seen a lot, and I know other people seen a lot, right? So there's a hurt and a pain in people, and you have to figure out how to let that go, so you can embrace the right people in your life,
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you keep running into I came up off of a fish type of man, that's because of the places that you are physically and mentally are the wrong places for you to be.
Right.
Because a real man wants to take care of his woman, period. I'm talking about protection to the full extent of the law and past that. I'm talking about providing to the point that she shouldn't have to lift a finger financially, right? If she does, a good woman, right? If she does have to lift a finger financially, it's not a problem because she feels the same way for him to the point that she wants to protect him, right?
Right.
And protecting somebody is not just protecting somebody from the world, it's protecting that person from themselves and from you as well.
Right.
Because we all flawed individuals.
Right.
So when you recognize that a man truly has your back, then give him your body. Until then, fight those urges. So, I was picking on you yesterday about talking about waiting till you get married, but I totally understand it, especially at our big age, because we done gave our body that. This is men too. We feel this. We don't speak on it because when we in the macho settings, we don't speak like that. But we've given our bodies to people that we regret.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it. I know for a fact.
Right.
So, patience, discernment, all of that stuff matters when it comes to dealing with another human being. You gotta have discernment. You gotta have patience,
And you got to keep your eyes open, because if you don't, then you're gonna end up having a lower credit score. You're gonna end up getting your bank account drained. Because there's niggas out here that are professionals at that shit, and women too.
Yes, indeed. They'll ask you. They'll say, "I married her because she got a good credit score."
Exactly. It's people like that. It's men out here that think like that, for real. All my kids are grown. My oldest are 25, 24, and 23. I raised them on their own from the ages of 5, 6, and 7. And that 6-year-old was a girl. Now, looking for her, she's a daddy's girl. So the way she was raised, when she stepped out into them streets, she had discernment. She knew how to look at a situation and say, nope, that ain't for me, and walk away. The boys, they got book smarts and they got street smarts. They know how to walk away from a situation and not worry about what somebody think about them.
I'm gonna tell you something.
They had issues growing up just like everybody else.
I know you remember what's his name? Terrell Owens, the football player. Remember, he made a lot of bad decisions as it relates to money, right? And of course, he always liked to. He had his preference, but he ended up marrying this female white, and it didn't last but like what 60 or 90 days. She worked at the post office, and she divorced him. She said because he basically married her because of her high credit score, and he immediately, because he had messed up a lot of money and his credit, started trying to get things in her name, and she divorced him.
Well, here's the thing with that. Let's look at Terrell Owens' history. He wasn't raised by his mama or his daddy. He was raised by his grandma.
Right.
Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. A lot of times, back then, grandma was too old to be calling herself raising somebody. Nowadays, your grandma might be 35. But back then, your grandma was 60 when you was 10 years old.
Right.
So he may say he was raised by his grandma. He was probably raised by the TV or raised by outside. And that ain't no way to be raised.
And she just provided a home for him.
Athletic. Right. She just provided a roof and food. But she was too old to be calling herself raising a boy to be a man. When I sit in this chat, sometimes I laugh and joke with everybody, but just from the comments, I can look and see that this is a comment for equality people. I mean, this is a chat for equality people. The people
absolutely.
That need to be hearing this ain't in this chat. So it's up to everybody in this chat to take what we learn when we in this chat from each other and put that on somebody that really need to hear it. It just take one person. You ain't got to go out here and have a whole seminar and rent. No, it just take one person that you know is on the verge of making the wrong decision. That 20-year-old girl that you see in Walmart, whatever the case may, wherever it is, wherever you get the feeling, take that to that person, because a lot of times we don't know what people are going through.
That's true. We don't.
They in public acting out, and it might take you to just grab that person by the hand and say, "Hey, listen, let me talk to you." We be so scared sometimes of how somebody gonna react when you try to reach out to them that you just let it go and shake your head and keep on about your business. But that's how you fix our community. Right?
That's exactly
how you fix our community is by when you outside in these streets doing your thing, shopping, whatever the case may be, and you see somebody acting a fool, if it's in your heart to speak to them, speak to them. Because that might be all they're looking for, is for somebody to try to understand what they're dealing with.
I agree. I'm going to tell you another thing I think parents need to stop doing, and adults. When a child acts out, get in with other adults while the child is sitting there talking bad about him, scalding him. I think a parent or a responsible adult should get with their child, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't try to tell them better, not unless they're all doing constructive criticism, but to be told, look at him, he's stupid, and I told him this, and he was doing this, and that child sitting there with all of that anger. That's not constructive. That's a bunch of women getting together being some damn cackling hens.
Well, what it is because I was a single parent. I now, as a single parent who raised children to be adults, I understand that frustration from those air quotes women circles. But it's all about being able to tear down and then build up, right? So I used to get in my son's ass, and here's the thing, because you said something that was so true, and I've been saying this for years. Mothers tend to coddle their sons and be hard on their daughters. Fathers tend to coddle their daughters and be hard on their boys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because, as a man, I've been there, done that, bro. So don't try to pull that shit on me. As a woman, I've been there, done that shit. Don't try to do that shit, pull that shit over on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get in your child's ass, but once you done got in that ass, you need to be able to then, once you brought it back down to a level where you're able to have a conversation, then you need to have a conversation with that child. Listen, this is why I clotheslined you off the back of that couch, because blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, as parents, we just get in that ass. Well, they already knew better. I done told them 4 or 5 times. But yeah, but as an adult, you have to get told things sometimes 2 or 3 times on your job. So a child whose brain ain't fully developed, you might have to tell them something 10 times before they get it.
Right.
So if you got to get in that ass, just make sure that after you get in that ass, you say, listen, baby, this is why I did that. Right? Try to give them some understanding as to what's going on, and then let it go. The next thing that happens, same thing, right? But you can't get so frustrated that you give up on the child. But that's you not doing your job.
I agree. And I always tell parents they should never, because I didn't do this. You should never whoop your child when you're angry. When they do something, wait until you calm down, and then go ahead and whoop their ass. Because I believe in ass whoopings, but wait until you calm down, and then do it.
That's true. That is true, because when anything done out of anger, there's a potential for regret.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're in a conversation. If you're in a conversation with your woman and it turns into a heated debate and then turns into an argument, somebody got to be smart enough to walk away. Baby, give me a minute. This going somewhere it don't need to go. Because I know me and I know you. Give me a minute.
That's right. And ladies, let him walk out. Shit. Some women, you ain't gonna walk. See, that's a real confrontational, toxic woman. Exactly. When you don't want to let him leave so he can calm down, that's toxicity. Let the man go and walk outside the door.
Right.
Before he knock the hell at you.
And see, that's the thing. And I'm not speaking on the pussy ass niggas now. I'm speaking on alpha men. Alpha men don't never want to hurt their woman, physically or emotionally. Right?
Right.
So if a man is at a point where he know his blood boiling, baby, please let me I'm gonna go upstairs, right? This may take 10 minutes, this may take 10 hours. But we finna go somewhere where ain't no coming back from.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when let me go, let me leave, I'm gonna come back and talk to you when we can talk. Because we as man and woman being in this relationship, I ain't trying to get it there. Right? I don't want it to go there because you can't whoop me. So I don't want it to go there. Because my job is to protect you from everything and everybody, including me.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go so I can focus. I heard everything you said. Hopefully you heard everything I said. Let's come back and talk about this when we can talk. Because right now we just yelling. And I'm about to start calling you all types of names you don't like. You're going to put your finger on my forehead, and then it's going to go somewhere. Let's just stop.
Right. Because you don't want to be calling your wife or your woman all kinds of B's and H's. To me, that's so,
not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Real men don't even do that.
Right. Real men don't even do it when they get mad.
Right. And they don't refer to their women. You know, we don't refer to our women as bitches when we talking to each other. We don't say, oh, yeah, my bitch, blah, blah. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. A real man said, that's my wife, bro. I had a friend, one of my OGs, I ain't know his wife's name for 10 years. because she was his wife. That was her name.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know her name was Lisa for like 10 years. He cherished her. Like that was her title, but he cherished her as his wife. And they ain't never had it was never nothing physical. It was never nothing verbal that went on between them because of how he took care of home. That's a man. Everything else is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get your own money, bruh, be off on your own until you can and focus on yourself. But you don't come in a woman's life giving her dick knowing that there are emotions in that vagina. And some women can control it, some women can't. But you mess around and give a woman some good, you know what, and she doing things she ain't got no business doing for you.
Mm-hmm.
And now you sitting up in the house smoking weed, playing PlayStation all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
I wasn't raised like that. My mama ain't raised me like that. I watched my mama go to work, come home, cook, clean. She took care of her son. Tamara, I ain't your son. I don't need you to take care of me.
That's right.
I need to be taking care of you. And if I ain't in a position to do that, I'm not going to fool with you.
That's right. That's right.
So I be laughing because these so-called men that you be talking about on this show, I be like, who is this a Memphis thing? Who is this? Because I don't understand.
I'm gonna tell you something. One of my.
I ain't perfect. I am not perfect. I'm 51 years old. So imagine how I was at 20, 21 years old, running the streets heavy. Yeah, I was not perfect at all, but I learned. I lived and I learned.
Right.
And I watched. Yeah, and I listened. And I heard what people said. You see what I'm saying? You gotta take all that stuff and use it for your own growth and development. A man that can't do that ain't no man.
That's right.
But I'm gonna let you go because you were trying to get off the phone so you can go find somebody out or arrest somebody or cuss somebody out, whatever it is you be doing when you ain't.
Don't I be doing it? It's like I do it all, don't it? Lord Jesus. Folks is like, okay, so what is your profession? I go, I don't know everything.
Everything.
Every single thing.
Once you find that right person for you, then you won't have to do so much.
Well, that's true.
You won't have to do so much. You can narrow it down to one or two things that you actually enjoy. That if you had to do it for free, you would do it for free, and because you'll need to be able to make time and space for that special man for you.
That's true. That's so true.
You know? But if you ain't willing to take care of him in that bedroom, it ain't gonna last.
Well, it's a shame to miss. It's a shame to miss out on a good woman. And get to get somebody half of what she is just because she's slobbing on a knob.
I'm not doing this with you. Go to work.
Bye.
Go to work.
Bye. Shout out to Mr. Parker calling in. I think he's from North Carolina, from the Carolinas. Let me tell you something, Mr. Parker. I forgot to mess with him when he was on here. A lot of those like missing persons cases I be checking out. A lot of women go missing. But I think North Carolina is different from South Carolina. A lot of men around the South Carolinas be they girlfriends go missing when they get mad at them. South Carolina and Shreveport, Louisiana. Yeah, South Carolina and Shreveport are two of the cities with the highest rate of men taking out their women. Okay, so maybe he missed that because he in North Carolina, but they sure said South Carolina, Shreveport, Louisiana, and I almost want to say St. Louis, Missouri. I'm look at that again. Y'all know what? Every time I look, Florida, absolute Florida, absolutely Florida, South Carolina, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Florida. Y'all know every time I look at the clock, it's 1:11 or 11:11 or 4:44, something like that. 4:44, and I promise you, like, to when I get up and use the restroom, it seems like every morning almost the clock is at 4:44. I look at my phone like, oh, it's 4:44. When I used to work as HR manager, every time I pulled up in front of, at the time I was living in a condo, I would look at the clock every day. I got home at 4:44. I don't care if I stopped and got gas. I don't care what I did. I pulled up in front of my condo at 4:44. I'm like, good God Almighty. So I always see the ones, 1:11, just like I just looked at that. I was like, let me see what time it is. In my mind, I was saying that, and it was 1:11. Um, and it's a lot of people get married on April 4th. My sister got married on April 4th, so I'm not getting married on April 4th. I've always wanted to get married for some reason or another. I've always wanted to get married in May. And for some reason I wanted it to be May 5th. Either May 1st or May 5th. When I was like in my early 20s, I was like, I want to get married at the beginning of May, either May 1st or May 5th. I don't know what the significance is as it relates to May 1st or May 5th, but I've always said that that's just kind of goof, but that's just weird. Um Jay-Z album 444. Mr. Parker telling the story. He's gonna say my birthday is May 5th. Y'all hit the like button for me. Like, share, and subscribe for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Um, I knew you was capping. This is Miss T. Your mom is right. We can't heal the unhealed. That's for God. Right. We can't heal the unhealed. That's for God. I know a lot of times when women and men, like, like if we invest love in somebody and then, they do us dirty and they move on. Okay. You go, dog, she's getting the best version of him. Don't look at it like that. Sometimes, it was never meant to be anyways. Hey, let somebody, if they want to give that person, my mother and my grandma used to always say this, let a person be with who they're going to treat right. If they're not treating you right, let them go. Let them be with who they're going to treat right. If that person gets the better version of them, even if it took your love to do some of that healing, let them go on, and you be with somebody that you get the best version of. It's not complicated. Let a person go on and stop feeling that she getting the best version of me or what I built. That's why you can't make nobody your project. It was never meant to be like that. Okay. Sometimes, people intertwine, and it is maybe because we are healers. A lot of us have healing on the inside of us. It was for them to realize something. It was never meant for them to stay. Don't let them drain you. Go on. When God snatch you out of it, let them move on and get the best version of somebody else. You don't drain yourself so that you end up dead, a corpse on the inside. You keep yourself preserved. Keep yourself preserved. So just when you meet somebody, you get the best version of them. You can give them the best version of you. I don't believe in calling people damaged goods. If you've never heard me say that on here, because I don't call humans damaged goods. Okay. That's a human being. Some people have been hurt. We've all been hurt. You take a chance when you love somebody. And because we're humans, people's feelings, you taking a chance because people's feelings change every day. Right? So that's why when folks say I love you to the ends of the earth, I always say, well, people will love you as long as they will love you, right? And then you don't ever know if they might change that, but you have to be mentally sane, right? To say, hey, if something happens and they love me, if their love does not go to the end of the earth, you don't accept anything to keep it going. When love is not there anymore, you got to get up and leave, right? You got to pull back from the table when love is not being served, right? When it's not being served, pull back and go sit at another table, because it's a lot of good men. I say this all the time. I know I be giving men a hard time, um a lot of times, because I like to joke and stuff a lot. I like to give men a hard time. That's just part of my personality when I'm joking and stuff. I know if they can accept my joking and my little corny, giving them a hard time and stuff. Because, see, that's how I test a lot of men out, too. I probably shouldn't have said that. When they get mad, you bad, they start getting mad and stuff. And they know how to bounce off of my little joking, throwing little lighthearted jabs and stuff, and they don't just blow all up and get crazy and stuff. I go, he might be a cool guy. Cause see, I don't deal with folks like that, right? When they everything they snapping, they getting mad, you disrespecting me. Oh, nigga, go on with your life. Okay? Go on with your life. But when you can you know, um, but when love is not being served, get up and go somewhere else. There are a lot of good guys. I have so many guys that are handsome guys to hire me to see if their wife is cheating or their women. I'm getting ready to marry. I had a guy call me the other day, so I'm getting ready to marry this girl, and I'm trying to make sure she's not marrying me for what I got. He was like, "Can I come in?" I was like, yeah. What's your name? You know, I have to look folks up, okay, before they walk up in that office. So when he got there, when I looked at him, he sure was handsome. I had another one like that. He was so handsome. But y'all know I'm a true professional. I'm go dog, but I don't know what goes on behind the walls of a house, right? Um, hey, he could be hard to deal with, I don't know. But just about every man, and I kid you not, that has ever hired me, whether they're white or whether they are black. I don't know if I feel like I should be a counselor. These men are successful men, but they always call to check on me. How you doing? I had not heard from one of my clients. I did work for him like 2.5 years ago, right? And he reached out to me. I was calling to check on you. How you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. And he was like, I got a good woman in my life now. You told me I was gonna meet somebody good. That man had everything. See, folks be trying to say that these truckers are no good. And a lot of them might be, but there are a lot of men that own trucking companies that are good guys, okay? That they are good guys. And he was like, I wanted you to know she helps me. And you said when I was going through all that, hey, he was taking care of this woman. Okay. This lady was about to lose her house. And as a matter of fact, he paid the taxes, and then she was behind on the taxes, paid the taxes and paid the damn house off, and then bought her a car. A good man. Now he got him a good woman. But he couldn't see that 2.5 years ago when I was telling him, when he would call, because somehow they just take to me, right? I know not to date my clients. So, because when they need, they need, or somebody else need an investigator, who you gonna call? You gonna call me. They gonna call me. I don't mix business with pleasure. When I get to looking, like, dog, his clothes and stuff look nice on him. Oh, and it smell good too. Ooh, Jesus. And can we meet, at the Mexican restaurant or something, so that we could talk about the case? I sure do. They serve, they take them good meals, but I sure always kept it professional. Okay. They already knew that my standards were at a place, my vibration was at a place that even if they was trying to come on to me, they already know this lady is a businesswoman. I had one client to say, I wish I had met you in another environment. I just kind of chuckled. I said to myself, me too. Because I can't date my clients. But that's why I could tell women, I said, it's some good men out there. They about to be single. Shit. Okay. They take chances too. Men hurt differently. Men hurt differently. Okay. Um, too. They hurt the same, but they react kind of differently. They kind of internalize stuff, and oftentimes they look for other women, um, for comfort. Not one time did I try and take advantage of that or anything like that because I knew these men was making good money or anything like that. I simply told them, "Hey, God got a plan, and watch God gonna send you somebody good." Okay, and that guy had to call me back to tell me that last week I found me somebody. I got you said that I couldn't see that, but I got me somebody. She sure is good to me. Okay. Sometimes you kiss a few toads before you get your prince. Okay. He said she helps me. She's shown me how to do this and that. I just he always had a good spirit though. So girl, ladies, it's some good men out there, and they provide us and they protect us and they good. And I'm gonna tell you, like Mr. Park was saying, I'm gonna tell you something about good men. They ain't gonna be out there letting you work too much. One of my friends who the reaction is different. Yes, we men have to be experts in compartmentalization. That's true. One of my friends who people have always asked us, y'all been friends for 24 years. He's got a lot going for himself. He's high ranking at the police department, and we just always been friends, right? He don't have no children. He's never been married. He's definitely heterosexual, and he always says to me, Tamara, you wouldn't know when nobody, no man like you. My daughter said that to me one time though, because it was some guys looking at me and my oldest daughter. We were out eating, and I told her, I said, those guys over there watching us, you go ahead, use the restroom. We're gonna walk out together because they ain't got no business watching us like that. They might be trying to size us up so they can rob us or something when we walk out. I said, I'm gonna even ask the security guy in this restaurant to watch us to the car. And my daughter said, Mom, do you know when men are flirting with you? She said, Mom, you don't even know when men are flirting with you. You get so paranoid. And I do. I do. I get so paranoid when I guess I don't know why. Like when I see a guy watching me and he's watching me too, I go, now what he watching me like that for? Okay. My daughter gonna say, Mom, maybe he watching that big old butt. But I don't but that's what my friend was saying. He was like, T, you don't even know. Like he was saying, it's something sad when, because I always say to him, well, I got so much going on. Like I want for my business to be making a lot of money. I feel like if I get with somebody really, because he was like, you don't really want to be with nobody. You always say you do, but you don't really want to be with nobody. And so I go, but if I get with a man, he gonna start trying to make me stop doing this. He ain't gonna want me to do that. And I'm busy all the time. He said, Tam, how do you know when you get with him, he ain't gonna come in and helping you to elevate that? But you just got this mental block that when he comes in, he gonna start trying to make you feel guilty about working and all of that. It ain't even gotta be like that. Like, so I've been thinking about all that. I was like, dog, like, have I pushed? Because I know I'm paranoid, about certain things. I'm very untrusting. That's what Memphis mentality is. In this day, you got to have that. It's some crazy people out here. But my daughter sure said that. She said, Mom, you don't even do you know when a men are flirting with you? You don't even know when men are flirting with you. No, I don't. I don't. And I think maybe it came from being in one relationship so long. Like um sometimes I feel like all of my relationships may have been accidental because I was always taught that a woman never approaches a man. What's up, fat boy? I was always taught that a woman never approach a man, that men are hunters by nature. So if a man wants you, he'll come to you. if you want him to see you, my grandma used to say, all you got to do is just glean in the fields, so you could put yourself, make yourself presentable and put yourself out there to be seen. And if men, what men want, they come, they approach. If he does not approach you, move on with your life. And I've always lived by that. No man could ever tell you that I approached him, ever, ever. um People give their mates a different side than any, right, because you want to be with somebody. There's nothing like being able to be vulnerable with somebody, that you don't have to worry about them throwing stuff back up into your face. I don't think I've ever had that with any man, where I could just talk about like my deepest, like some things that, secrets I may have that may have bothered me, um and not having to worry about it being I've never had that. I can't say that I've ever been comfortable enough with a man to ever do that. And maybe I shouldn't be, not until I'm married or something like that. But right, it's nothing like being able to be vulnerable with with somebody, that you can trust, somebody that you can depend on. One thing I do know about men, and I learned this early on, and I had, it was in trial and error. I had a guy that I was dating. As a matter of fact, it was one of my child's, one of my daughter's dads had told me something in secret, and I remember I had a best friend, and I told her. And so we were all sitting around because we used to meet at her house and stuff. She used to have stuff at her house, and she kind of said something about it, and I could tell by the look on his face that he didn't like that. And so he was like, when we was leaving, he was like, let me tell you something, Tamara. I don't want to ever, and I got all offended and stuff. I was like, what? That's my friend. I understand. He was like, I don't ever. You don't know how I felt when she repeated that. Even though I thought it was nothing, it was like some stuff he had did in the past. He said, but I don't ever want to ever feel like I can't trust you. I don't ever want to feel like I can't trust you, ever. And that's something I know about men. When women regurgitate stuff all the time, I'm teaching some women on here today that, that be in the bushes wanting to, um, I guess, imitate everything. Um, but they need to know that men don't like women that they can't trust. And me either. It's nothing like me. I don't like nobody. Friends are nothing that I can't trust. If I feel like they're gonna be regurgitating anything that I tell them, oh my God. Girl, I have a truck driver that has his own company. It's small, but it's his. I feel like I'm finally getting my blessings. And the kids like him. He's the grandkids, siblings, uncle. Wow, that's so awesome. We was just, fat boy, we was just talking about truck drivers, and here come a guy that say he a trucker up in here. Demon says facts. Fat boy says Joy loves God. Tell her I'm trying 100. I'll be good to her. Listen, y'all. I went on Fat Boy page. Fat boy has a wife. Fat boy has a wife, and she be cooking for him and feeding him good. Latasha says, learn from your mistakes, because I sure have. I am. She Johnson says, I don't care who it is. I can't trust you. I can't be. Absolutely. When you can't trust them, you can't be around them. And don't give them but one time to read, to blurt out something or regurgitate something you said. Yes, you do. I saw it. I saw it, y'all. I saw it. Well, he got a woman because she be cooking them big meals for him. Joel Loves Guy says, my mom always told us if someone approaches you with a secret, see, he didn't think I was going to go look. He didn't think I was going to. He didn't think I was gonna go look. I sure did. I said, let me check this out. Joel Osgar says, my mom always told us if someone approaches you with a secret and says, don't tell nobody, tell them, well, don't tell me, because if you can't keep it, neither can I. Today has been, you know what? We ended up getting into hey Sherry, we ended up getting into quite a bit today. I think this was a good topic. It wasn't a lot of people in here, like 60, but still, that means because it only be like 10 people typing in the chat. So that means it's about 50 people that be in the bushes. I sure wish I knew who was in the bushes. I would love to know who's in the bushes that never comments and stuff. Um, they said Cypress should have been here. Look, Cypress is so content with being a darn lust demon. Cypress is a whoremonger, and he is content with it. He feel like he needs to have him 2 women. Fat boy didn't know he was dealing with Mama Colombo over here. I know. Yeah, but Cypress should have been up in here. Cypress probably somewhere asleep after chasing. Tori says, I'm in the bushes, Miss Tam. Hey, Tori. I love that name, Tori.
Fat boy.
What's up, fat boy?
What's going on?
What's you? So you call? So you calling from North Carolina too, huh?
Yeah, I'm from Charlotte.
Are you from Charlotte? I have a lot of people in my chat from Charlotte.
Oh, what's up? I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about, because that's a friend.
Yeah, because I saw all that food that your wife and stuff. Now y'all call each other baby and she said, "Baby, you want something to drink?" And I'm fixing this. She sounds like a nice lady.
Look, I'm single. That's old. That's old news.
But I looked at yeah, but you uploaded it a month ago.
No, that was like 8 months ago. Go look at it.
I did look at it.
It's 8 months ago. I'm serious. Go look at it again.
So why y'all break up?
We were never together. We were just friends. I'm always trying to confess my love to you. I'm trying, girl.
Oh my God, you terrible! Lord have mercy. You didn't think I was gonna go look at that page? That's what it was, did you?
Go look at it again.
Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna go look at it again then, okay?
Please do it. Look, matter of fact, I left my number the last time. Please give me a call, please. I'm just trying to get to know you straight up.
Okay.
You won't regret it. I'm gonna be a good friend. You laugh on something.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? I feel like you got a lot of love for that woman that because I mean every video you got is of her cooking for you.
Oh, no, that was only one video.
Now if see you almost made me go pull them videos up, but I don't want to do you like that.
I'm serious. Go look at it. I'm serious. Go look at it.
I'm talking about you almost made me pull them up on here.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead. It's only one video on there.
Okay, well I'm getting ready to pull it up. What you ain't gonna strike at me, are you?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. Well I'm gonna pull it up then. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye. Let me see if I can pull it up. I want y'all to see. Let's see. Um, Uh, let me see something. What is it? Fat Boy the Trucker. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hey, can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? I want y'all to see Fat Boy. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Here it is. Wait a minute. I'm gonna just let y'all hear it. Let me see. How come it won't come up? Oh, here it is. Y'all listen.
Food, got the food, got the food. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, indeed. All right. Put it on the plates. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, hey, yes, do you want some cornbread? You say cornbread? I asked you if you like cornbread. Got the food, got the food, got the food.
She said, "Hey, babe, do you want some cornbread?" She fixed him a good meal. He thought he think I was gonna go look at it. He sent me his number, and I said, "Let me see who this is." And I click on his site. I said, "This man got a wife, and she be cooking good meals. That man be eating good." I said, "This man trying to get me killed." But shout out to Fat Boy the truck driver though. Shout out to him. Anyways, you guys, I got tickled though. Fat Boy the truck driver. I got tickled. I said, "Lord Jesus." Yeah, he be. I was looking at that man. He eats good. That man have all types of good food. Big steaks in the oven and everything. Nice kitchen. He done stopped commenting now. He stopped commenting. He stopped commenting. I can tell she a old school. Yeah, that man eats good. Y'all, has anybody seen New to You? I thought about her. I was like, I don't think I've seen New to You in the chat. Or has she been in the chat and I just hadn't seen her? Because I have to check on her. Oh, she in school? It said, what's the date on the pic? Okay, let me go back and look at it. Because I thought it said a month ago. Let me see. It says 2 months ago.
Got the food, got the food.
He said they just friends, but she said, "Babe, you want want some cornbread?" I'm telling you, every time if you look at it, that man eats good. I know that woman cooking for him. Oh, I tell you. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get on again tonight. I'm gonna check and see what's going on with BEO Lil Kenny. Somebody was supposed to be getting back with me on that, so I can see what's going on with BEO. I hope they leave BEO alone. They need to just leave BEO alone. That's what they need to do. Yeah, July will be a God did it month. July will be a God did it month. That's what just popped up in my inspirations. July will be a God did it month for you. And that's what we gonna proclaim. Like everything that you want that is for you, that is gonna be conducive to your life and your livelihood. No phony stuff. No chameleons. No camouflagers. No pretenders or whatever. But anything that is for you, God will reveal it. Those things that's not strip the blinders or the curtains off of anybody that is trying to camouflage themselves. That's why you have to be very meticulous about telling people. My dad taught me this. My dad always said to me and my sisters, never tell people exactly what it is that you're looking for, because what they'll do is they will camouflage themselves into that to trick you, right? So you never tell them anything. You give them everything. You give them the opportunity to be themselves. And I think that's another reasons why another one of the reasons why I don't tell people everything as it relates to that. But everything that you want this month that's going to be conducive to you, your livelihood, God is going to start aligning that for you and positioning you for that, and you'll start to get that. Okay, I put that into the atmosphere. I understand how powerful words are, but you need to align yourself and to be in position to start receiving that, rather, like it's relationships or anything. Okay. Whether it's relationships or wealth or anything like that. Um, I've asked God to start aligning me for wealth. Okay. If it's meant for me to have a relationship, that'll happen too. I don't look for relationships as far as like intimate relationships, because I ain't really looking for no boyfriend anyways. I think I've been saying that now for months. I'm not looking for no boyfriend. I'm looking for I'm not looking. I'm not. I want somebody that's looking for a wife. Okay, because I ain't got time. I don't want to be dating nobody for no 5 and 6 years. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, I want a man that's looking for a wife because a woman is not supposed to look for a husband. She's just supposed to know the qualities that she want in a husband, right? So he says check on TTG Big Seven. Who's TTG? Says thank you, Miss T. You carried me to lunch. Okay, Miss Leah. Yep, big Leo energy. It's hey, the Leos, the Cancers. Hey, shout out to the Cancers because my daughter is a Cancer. But it's always people just be preparing for. I always show this right here. Hold on, y'all. If I can find it. Here it is right here. I love showing this right here. It says, "Get ready, the kings and queens are waking up." Leo season. So Leo season is like right around the corner. That energy is like that go get it energy. It's like right around the corner. They said Leos be like, "Wake me up on July 23rd." I love those little quotes. Leo season is never really over. We rule like 365 days of the year. I'm just making up names. These Negroes' names is aggravating. A love from Elvis Presley, Sir Sosa. Okay, love from Elvis Presley. So, okay. Sir Sosa. July 14th, my birthday. Cancers. We only do real and circle and love. Yeah, my oldest daughter is a Cancer, and she she's a real lovable person. She's very emotional though. But I'm gonna tell you something. She don't care nothing about no material things. Period. Like that girl will give away everything she got. She don't care about material stuff at all. Oh, Lakeview Gardens. Okay. Shout out to Lakeview Gardens. So is that's closer to um Lakeview Gardens? Is that closer to like homes? He says, "Man, I love you. Been watching you for 2 years." In Lakeview Garden, is that like closer to Holmes Road? Trying to think. Shout out to Huntsville too. Shout out to Huntsville. Shout out to y'all. Do know that I'm like in Alabama. You a whole catch. I've been waiting. um, I'm gonna be spending quite a bit of time down there in Huntsville because I gotta go and speak with some of the pastors of the churches to put their stuff on my network. Um, it's on Holmes Road. Okay, between Horn Lake and Third. Okay, okay. Shout out to Lakeview Garden. So that's closer to it's going towards Westwood. It's going towards Westwood. Yes, shout out to Lakeview Garden. Shout out to um y'all wouldn't believe, like, my mother went to Jeter. My mom went to Jeter Junior High School. My cousins and stuff went to Jeter too. A lot of my cousins went to Jeter. When they moved up from Mississippi, they moved around that area, around the Tulane area. They didn't live in Tulane, they lived in the houses. My dad, when they left North Memphis, my dad was 17. He was in his last year. He was becoming a senior. Yeah, my dad was he was a senior in high school. And so my dad ended up going to they moved from North Memphis. My dad ended up going to Fairleigh High School. My mother went to Fairleigh High School, and she went to Jeter, and she went to Fairleigh. My dad moved from North Memphis. They moved on Tulane in the houses, and my mother, he grew up that. So my aunts and stuff grew up on Tulane in the houses, one of the houses on Tulane, and my mother grew up on Shane Lane. So y'all, it curves. That street curves, and so they live like two doors down from each other. Yep, and that's something. So when he says I went there as well, I used to be LVG versus BHG. Okay, I mean BHZ. Lakeview Gardens. I'm trying to think, like, when, because I'm trying to think, NPV on PV is around that area, but it's going further. I think it's off of Third Street. I think it's off of Third Street. Like PV projects, I think they tore them down though. You beautiful Tamara, HMU, or let me do the favor. Thank you, love. Joel Scott. You guys, make sure you guys, if you have not gotten a platinum, I know I said I was gonna come on last night, but I have been working so much, I was catching up on rest. But I'm definitely going to. I'm gonna do another live tonight. I need to. Maybe I'll come on. Um, I'll do a members tomorrow because I gotta work downtown tomorrow. So maybe I can get some information or something. Anyways, you guys, I appreciate you all getting on. I love you guys. Okay, I'll talk with you later.